Once, all our holidays were religious or holy days, which is where the name holiday comes from. Some of our holidays still are holy days. But many of these special days, which we take off from work or school, give presents, march in parades, go on picnics, have parties, or visit family and friends, are for as many other reasons as there are holidays. Each one has its own story. Take January 1st, New Year's Day. When the ancient Romans made the 12-month calendar that we still use, they named the first month for their god Janus. Janus, January. Janus was a two-faced god. His one face looked forward to the new year, and his other looked back on the old. New Year's is a time for parties and noise-making. Today we make noise just for the fun of it. Once people made noise because they believed the noise would frighten away any evil spirits left over from the year just past. New Year's is a time for celebration and singing, and the song most often sung is an old Scotch melody called For Old Time's Sake, or as the Scotch would say it, Auld Lang Syne. On February 12th, we celebrate the birthday of Abraham Lincoln. The story of this great and good and humble man has been told many, many times. Did you know, however, that his birthday was not celebrated until more than 25 years after he died, when the state of Illinois in 1891 became the first of the states to make it officially a holiday? It was over 20 years later, in 1914, that work was begun on the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a structure that took 7 years to complete, and which houses the huge, brooding statue of Lincoln by Daniel Chester French, the most famous sculptor of his day. Lincoln was a simple man. At Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, there to make the brief address the world will long remember, he turned to the bandmaster of the military band that was present and asked that one of his favorite songs be played. Of course it was. And this is it.
When I was young, I used to wait on my master and hand him his plate and pass the bottle when he got dry and brush away the blue-tailed fly. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. My master's gone away. One day he rode around the farm. The flies so numerous they did swarm. One chance to bite him on the thigh. The devil take the blue-tailed fly. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. master's gone away. The pony run, he jump, he pitch, he threw my master in the ditch. He died and the jury wondered why. The verdict was the blue-tailed fly. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. My master's gone away. They laid him under a simmon tree. His epitaph is there to see. Beneath this stone I'm forced to lie, victim of the blue-tailed fly. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. My master's gone away. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. My master's gone away.
Who was St. Valentine, and why do we observe February 14th as St. Valentine's Day? Not a true holiday, but as widely observed as if it were. Well, in the year 270, Valentine, a Christian priest, was killed by the Romans on this day. Prior to that, the same day had been celebrated in Rome to honor their god Lupercus, the killer of wolves, a celebration at which young men and women drew lots for partners. As time went on, the pairing off continued, but Lupercus was forgotten, and the day became St. Valentine's Day. It is said, too, that this is the time the birds have found their sweethearts and are nesting. The first Valentines were love poems written by Charles, Duke of Orleans, to his wife. They were written in the Tower of London, where he was a prisoner of the English who had captured him at the Battle of Agincourt in the year 1415. Since then, Valentine poems and songs have always been of love and lovers.
The years creep slowly by, Lorena. The snow is on the grass again. The sun's low down the sky, Lorena. The frost gleams where the flowers have been. But the heart throbs on as warmly now as when the summer days were nigh. Oh, the sun can never dip so low. Adown affection's cloudless sky, the sun can never dip so low. Adown affection's cloudless sky.
In European countries, it was traditional to celebrate the king's birthday. But in the United States, which had no king, a new tradition based on the old came to be. February 22nd, birthday of America's leading citizen George Washington, was, unlike Lincoln's, celebrated publicly during his lifetime. Perhaps the first such celebration occurred during the Winter of Despair, 1778, as Washington's army was shivering in the snows of Valley Forge. On his birthday, the 4th Continental Artillery Band marched to the general's headquarters and serenaded him.
Yankee Doodle went to town a-riding on a pony. He stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Father and I went down to camp along with Captain Good, and there we saw the men and boys as thick as hasty pudding. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Yankee Doodle went to town a-riding on a pony. He stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Yankee Doodle went to town a-riding on a pony. He stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Father and I went down to camp along with Captain Good, and there we saw the men and boys as thick as hasty pudding. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Yankee Doodle went to town a-riding on a pony. He stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy.
A Scotsman born in the year 387 was captured as a boy by a band of Irish pirates and sold to a Druid chief. He escaped from Ireland, became a priest, and later a bishop, then returned to Ireland to convert the pagans to Christianity. That is the story of St. Patrick, whose death, not birth, on March 17th, late in the 5th century, is observed as St. Patrick's Day. It was St. Patrick who used Ireland's native shamrock to explain the three parts of the Trinity to the pagans. It was St. Patrick who, according to legend, drove the snakes from Ireland and made the ground fatal to any which might return. On St. Patrick's Day, the wearing of something green to represent the green of the Emerald Isle is part of the tradition. So, too, are parades, celebrations, and songs.
In 1841 I put my corduroy breeches on, I put my corduroy breeches on to work upon the railway. Fill-a-me-oo-re-oo-re-ay, 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 to work upon the railway. In 1842 I left the old world for the new, I left the old world for the new to work upon the railway. Fill-a-me-oo-re-oo-re-ay, 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 to work upon the railway. In 1843 'twas then I met sweet Biddy McGee, an elegant wife she's been to me while working on the railway. Fill-a-me-oo-re-oo-re-ay, 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 to work upon the railway. In 1841 I put my corduroy breeches on, I put my corduroy breeches on to work upon the railway. Fill-a-me-oo-re-oo-re-ay, 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 to work upon the railway. In 1842, I left the old world for the new. I left the old world for the new to work upon the railway. Billy-me-oo-re-oo-re-ay, 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 to work upon the railway. In 1843, 'twas then I met sweet Biddy McGee, and an elegant wife she's been to me while working on the railway. Billy-me-oo-re-oo-re-ay, 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 to work upon the railway.
A truly holy holiday is Easter, the first Sunday following the full moon after March 21st. On that day, the resurrection of Jesus is celebrated. But it is seldom remembered that this event and ancient pagan spring festivals have become combined in the Easter traditions that we observe. Lent is believed to come from the Anglo-Saxon word Lengentide, the season of lengthening days, while the Norse word for the season of the growing sun is Öster. There is an old belief that on Easter morning the sun dances in the sky and that those who rise early can see it. Possibly this is the origin of the sunrise service. The Easter egg, so much a part of the tradition, symbolizes new life, a re-beginning, the resurrection on one hand, the spring reawakening of nature on the other. And the songs we sing at Easter often combine the two traditions. May 30th is known as Memorial Day or Decoration Day. It started with the practice of remembering the soldiers of both sides who were killed in the American Civil War by decorating their graves with flowers. Today it has become a day to remember all our soldiers who died in all our wars. In the South, another Memorial Day is observed as well, April 26th, Confederate Memorial Day, the day on which Confederate General Joseph Johnston finally surrendered his army at Durham Station, South Carolina, 17 days after Lee surrendered to Grant. Among the happier vestiges of the great conflict were its songs.
Sitting by the roadside on a summer's day, chatting with my messmates, passing time away, lying in the shadows underneath the trees. Goodness, how delicious, eating Gilbert peas. Peas, 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 eating Gilbert peas. Goodness, how delicious, eating Gilbert peas. Oh, when the horseman passes, the soldiers have a rule to shout out at their loudest, "Mister, here's your mule." But another pleasure enchantinger than these is grinding off your molars, eating Gilbert peas. Peas, 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 eating Gilbert peas. Goodness, how delicious, eating Gilbert peas. Just before before the battle, the general hears a row. He says the Yanks are coming, I can hear their rifles now. He looks around in wonder, and what do you think he sees? The Georgia militia eating Dover peas. Peas, 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 eating Dover peas. Goodness, how delicious, eating Dover peas. I think my song has lasted almost long enough. The subject's interesting, but the rhymes are mighty rough. I wish this war was over, when free from rags and fleas, we'll kiss our wives and sweethearts and gobble Dover peas. Peas, 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 eating Dover peas. Goodness, how delicious, eating Dover peas. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. The old church bell will ring with joy, hurrah, hurrah, to welcome home our darling boy, hurrah, hurrah. The village lads and lassies say with roses they will smooth the way, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Get ready for the Jubilee, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give the hero 3 times 3, hurrah, hurrah. The laurel wreath is ready now to place upon his loyal brow, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Let love and friendship on that day, hurrah, hurrah. Their choicest treasures then display, hurrah, hurrah. And let each one perform some part to fill with joy the warrior's heart, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out.
July 4th, 1776 was no holiday for the members of the Continental Congress. Delegates from each of the 13 colonies who gathered together in Philadelphia to see if all agreed that their grievances against England were great enough to declare their independence from the mother country. The Declaration of Independence was the result. "There," said John Hancock, the first signer, who wrote his name large and with a flourish. "King George will be able to read that without his glasses." Outside of the State House, where the delegates met, and throughout Philadelphia, the people awaited the news. Had the delegates agreed? Would the Declaration be signed? Were they still British subjects or suddenly American citizens? It was independence. The bell in the State House tower rang out the news. That bell has been called the Liberty Bell ever since. And ever since, we have celebrated July 4th, our country's birthday.
Over hill, over dale, we will hit the dusty trail, and those caissons go rolling along. How they're marched right about, hear those wagon soldiers shout, while those caissons go rolling along. For it's hi, hi, he in the field artillery, call off your numbers loud and strong, and wherever we go, you will always know that those caissons are rolling along. Keep them rolling, that those caissons are rolling along.
the field artillery. Call off your numbers loud and strong. And wherever we go, you will always know that those caissons are rolling along. Keep them rolling, that those caissons are rolling along. Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day, 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 day. Through our last night on shore, drink to the foam. Until we meet once more, here's wishing you a happy voyage home. Through our last night on shore, drink to the foam. Until we meet once more, here's wishing you a happy voyage home. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles on the land as on the sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marine. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles on the land as on the sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marine.
A parade was held in New York City on September the 5th, 1882. A parade of working men who had gathered together and formed a union to give them unity and strength in dealing with their employers. Unity and strength which working men and women had never had before. This was the first celebration of Labor Day, now celebrated on the first Monday in September. It is not a day of labor, but a day set aside to honor those who do labor for others, with the dignity and security and respect to which they are entitled, and for which they had to fight. Those who have these things are happy in their work, and sing.
Every morning at 7 o'clock, there were 20 terriers working on the rock. And the boss comes along and he says, keep still, and come down heavy on the cast iron drill.
And drill, ye terriers, drill.
Drill, ye terriers, drill. Oh, it's work all day for the sugar in your tay, down behind the railway.
And drill, ye terriers, drill. And blast, and fire, and drill.
Now our boss man was Gene McCann. You know, he was a blame mean man. Last week a premature blast went off, and a mile in the air went Big Jim Goff.
So drill, ye terriers, drill.
Drill, ye terriers, drill. Oh, it's work all day for the sugar in your tay, down behind the railway.
And drill, ye terriers, drill. And blast, and fire, and drill.
When next payday came around, Jim Goff $1 short was found. When he asked what for, came this reply: show your doc for the time you were up in the sky. So drill, ye terriers, drill. Drill, ye terriers, drill. Oh, it's work all day for the sugar in your tail down behind the railway.
And drill, ye terriers, drill. And blast, and fire, and drill. And drill.
I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Can't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. Can't you hear the captain shouting? Dinah, blow your horn. Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Can't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. Can't you hear the captain shouting? Dinah, blow your horn. Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow your horn?
November 1st is All Saints' Day, or All Hallows' Day, for the saints are hallowed persons. The evening before is All Hallows' Evening, or, running the words together, Halloween. But Halloween, as we know it, has nothing to do with that. Going back even further in tradition, it was on that same night, the last night of October, that the Celtic Druids of northern England, pagan tribes, lit fires to frighten away the evil spirits they believed were waiting to rush upon them when summer was over. The candle in the jack-o'-lantern recalls these fires. But suppose the fires didn't work, then what? Just to be on the safe side, the Druids dressed up in frightening costumes, hoping this would make the evil spirits believe that they too were evil spirits and leave them alone. And of course, the scarier the costume, the better. And the scarier the Halloween song, the better it is too. This was the menu: wild turkey, geese, ducks, pigeons, deer, clams, oysters, barley, and cornbread, pumpkins, squash, corn, salads, fruits, and pies. They ate, played games, and celebrated for 3 days. When they ran out of food, they went out into the forest and shot more. There were about 50 of them, 50 pilgrims and their guests, some 90 Indians. This was the first Thanksgiving, the first party ever held by European settlers in the New World. the first reason to celebrate, for they had survived the first difficult winter and brought in their first harvest. And being people of deep religious faith, they offered prayers of thanks to God for what he had given. Few of us now have harvests of crops to gather, but on the fourth Thursday of November, when families traditionally gather together for Thanksgiving, we thank God for our blessings. Among these, the courage of the Pilgrim Fathers and others who came later to build a land where harvests are rich and food is plentiful.
As I was a-going on down the road with a tired team and a heavy load, I cracked my whip and the leader sprung. I said goodbye to the wagon tongue. Turkey in the straw, turkey in the hay. Roll 'em up and twist 'em up a high tuck-a-haw and hit 'em up a tune called Turkey in the Straw.
Went out to milk and I didn't know how. I milked the goat instead of the cow. A monkey sitting on a pile of straw, a winking and a blinking at his mother-in-law.
Turkey in the straw, turkey in the hay. Roll 'em up and twist 'em up a high tuck-a-haw and hit 'em up a tune called Turkey in the Straw. Turkey in the straw, turkey in the hay. Roll 'em up and twist 'em up a high tuck-a-haw and hit 'em up a tune called Turkey in the Straw. Turkey in the straw, turkey in the hay. Roll 'em up and twist 'em up a high tuck-a-haw and hit 'em up a tune called Turkey in the Straw. As I was a-going on down the road with a tired team and a heavy load, I cracked my whip and the leader sprung. I said goodbye to the wagon tongue. Turkey in the straw, turkey in the hay. Roll 'em up and twist 'em up a high tuck-a-haw and hit 'em up a tune called Turkey in the Straw.
Went out to milk and I didn't know how. I milked the goat instead of the cow. A monkey sitting on a pile of straw, a winking and a blinking at his mother-in-law.
Turkey in the straw, turkey in the hay. Roll 'em up and twist 'em up a high tuck-a-haw and hit 'em up a tune called Turkey in the Straw. Turkey in the straw, turkey in the hay. Roll 'em up and twist 'em up a high tuck-a-haw and hit 'em up a tune called Turkey in the Straw. Turkey in the straw, turkey in the hay. Roll 'em up and twist 'em up a high tuck-a-haw and hit 'em up a tune called Turkey in the Straw.
Aha!
In ancient Rome, December 25th was a holiday called the Saturnalia, during which the people celebrated the fact that the shortest day of the year had now passed and the sun was about to return to them. Some 400 years after the birth of Christ, since no one remembered the exact date on which he was born in late December, December 25th was chosen to make this a Christian holiday so the people would forget the Roman one. In Christmas, as in Easter, pagan and Christian traditions have become combined. The word Yule is the name of a Norse holiday to honor the god Thor. The Yule log was brought into the house and burned for luck. Legend has it that on the night Christ was born, all the trees in the forest bloomed. When we decorate the Christmas tree, we bring the legend to life. Gift-giving began with the 3 wise men, the Magi. Santa Claus came later. He was real. A 4th century bishop in Asia Minor, St. Nicholas, who dressed in red bishop's robes. He was so kind to children that he became their patron saint. St. Nicholas in Dutch is Sinterklaas, and when the Dutch came to this country and settled New Amsterdam, Sinterklaas became Santa Claus. Carol comes from a Greek word, choralin, from 2 other words, choros, to dance, and alin, to play the flute. Here is one of the best carols from this season of glad tidings of great joy.
Joy
to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ. While fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat, repeat the sounding joy. Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel, when a poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Happy New Year.